Hello, how to fill out Form 941 for 2023 quarter 2. So Form 941 is employer quarterly federal tax return. So if you do not have a blank form on hand, you can go to irs.gov and we have a link to the form on our website nenasop.com as well. On irs.com, on the search bar, you will tap Form 941 and you will download Form 941, the latest version, the instructions, and depending on your situation, you might need Schedule B or not. So, but it's good to have the Form 941 for the current year you are filing for your record. That way you can just use that blank form each quarter and have the instructions on hand. Once you read through the instruction, you can highlight the point that you find interesting to work with. So we have the form available. We are just going to click on it. And once you have the blank form on hand, you will need to have your payroll on hand as well. So a record of payrolls that you pay during for that quarter. And we have an example here. If you don't have a payroll software to track your payroll, you can use a spreadsheet. You can design it yourself. We have a template, a free download on our website under free download that you can access, as you can download a copy as well. And it should be we have multiple versions. You can go through it to see which one works for you, but the latest version that I been using in this tutorial I updated this year, and you will find that, but we can come back to it. But anyway, now that we have the blank Form 941 on hand, we can start completing it. So the employer, you enter your business employer identification number in it, and your business name. And I'd like to put everything capital, but you can do it how it works for you. And we can just use Liberman Consulting as an example here. And try to have, if you are not sure about your business name, you might want to look at your EIN application form that you complete to apply for EIN number. You might want to look at if you save a copy of that, or the letter you receive from IRS when you apply for your EIN number. When you look at it, you'll find your business legal name. You might want to use that. If your business has a trade name, you can use it as well. And if your business does not have a legal a trade name, you leave that trade name section blank. If you are a sole proprietor and you have employees, probably your sole proprietor might have your own name, first name and last name might be your business legal name. So just know what you put down on your EIN application form when you complete, because the form has a section that say legal name, business legal name, and that's what you want to have for the name, not your trade name line. So for the address, you put your business address, and here we can just put address, I like to put street. And you'll put the city, and you'll put your state abbreviation and the zip code. So at the right section, you have report for this quarter of 2023. So we are working on Form 941 for quarter 2, and quarter 2 include April, May, June, and it is due by July 31st. So you will check quarter 2. You will check 2 for that. So you do not check all the quarters on one form. Form 941 is quarterly return. So that means for all 4 quarters that you are going to file for, you will need 4 forms of Form 941. Unless you are a seasonal employer and you check that you made that requirement that you don't need to file the return Form 941 for every quarter because you do not have employees some quarter of the year, and you have been checking line 18 on Form 941 that there will be some quarter you are not going to file for. So in that case, for the quarter you are filing for, you need to check that quarter on top like the way we did it. And then when you get to line 18, you will check line 18 that there will be some quarter that you are not going to file for. So that when IRS does not receive your Form 941 for a quarter, they will assume you didn't have employees for that quarter. But you can read the instructions on it to see if you meet the requirement of seasonal employer. But other than that, whether you have employees or not, if you're supposed to file Form 941 every quarter by default, you will file it. Whether you have employees or not, or you pay payroll or not, you will file it. That's zero tax return and send it over to IRS. So for quarter 2, that will end June 30th. You will check 2 for the quarter that it is for. Line 1, number part 1, line 1, number of employees who receive wages, tips, or other compensation for the pay period. So we are working on quarter for the pay period, including, and then they have all that. So we are working on quarter 2, and we have 2 people. So we are going to put 2 there. So now they say wages, tips, and other compensation. So we will go to our payroll spreadsheet, and for this payroll spreadsheet, I enter for this example, we have April, May, and June entries here, and we will go to, believe we have summary tab that will work for us. So that will, for quarter 2, that will be 12,000. So wages and other compensation will put 12,000, and they have this side for the decimal point, so it is good to put your numbers without rounding it. And line 3, federal income tax withheld from wages, tips, and other compensation. We have a video where we show how you can manually estimate the federal income tax return on payroll or salaries. So I will link it in the description as well as how to complete this payroll spreadsheet. In fact, it was all in one video, and I'll put that article in the description, and the bottom of the article should have a link to the free download for this spreadsheet as well. But the way I'm just going to briefly touch base with that, for one payroll made, we have entries to the spreadsheet, and to calculate how much for the Social Security and the Medicaid, they have rates that you can just use, and you can put that on your spreadsheet and it will calculate it for you. Or when you are filing the tax return, they have rate on the tax return that you'll use to calculate it as well. But when it comes to federal income tax to withhold on the salary, you can use the publication that IRS sent out for estimated federal income tax to withhold on salaries. And to use that, you will need to use the W-4 that you or the employee completed, and it's good to have the newest version of W-4 in file. So if you are in LLC tax as an S corp, you are working in your business, you are an employee yourself. So if you are paying yourself, you can update your W-2, because you'll need some line from the W-2 that you will use to locate the income tax to withhold on your salary. So in this example, for $2,000 pay on a monthly basis, to estimate how much payroll to withhold on that, we use the wage bracket method table for manual payroll system, and we use the latest version 2020 or later for W for 2020 or later, and we go up now for the W-4 that wants that the employee want to be taxed as a single, and check the step 2 on the W-4 just to allow the employer to withhold more. So you will locate the salary within the brackets, and the salary was $2,000. So you want at least $2,000, but less than category to work with, and bracket to work with. So we are not using the one on top, because the salary is $2,000. So the salary needs to fall within the bracket. So 2,000, from 2,000 to 2,030 is what we'll use. And for the employee that check box 2 on the W-4, the federal income tax we hold is 163. For the employee 2 that want to be taxed as single, but didn't check the box 2 on the W-4, the federal income tax we hold is 86. So with those two numbers, we'll go to our spreadsheet and we'll put them on it. So that's how those numbers, that's where they came from. So now we will go back to our totals again, because we are using the summary by quarter to pull all those entries to be more concise for us to work with. So for quarter 2, federal income tax we've had is 747. So we'll go back to our return and we'll put 747 with some zero in the decimal at the decimal side. Line 4, if no wages, tips, or other compensation are subject to Social Security, you check that box. So we are not going to check it because in this example, salaries are paid, therefore Social Security and Medicaid tax will be charged as well. So line 5, total taxable Social Security wages. Here we are going to put 12,000 because in this example, the total salary is taxable, is taxable Social Security wages as well. And as I was saying, the form comes with some percentage that you can use to calculate the Social Security and Medicaid tax, unlike the federal income tax threshold. So this one times 0.124 is the employee share and the employer share of Social Security, both together. So that's 1488. And then line 5, qualified sick leave wages. We do not have qualified sick leave wages in this example. I'm going to leave a blank, but if you do have wages qualified for sick leave, you will withhold 6.2% from the employee's salary, the sick leave salary wages, but you, the employer, are not going to pay. And so qualified family leave wages, the employee will pay 6.2%, but the employer will not. But they have a note on the form for you to read, or you can go to the instructions as well to read more about it, because the rule was a little bit different last year, the past 2 years. So you can read it to see who is paying what for the sick leave and the family leave. Are both the employee and the employer paying it, or just the employee? So that's about Social Security tip. So if you're in your business, employees collect tips, you, the employer, and the employee will pay Social Security on that, and that will be 6.2% each, and that will be 12.4 total. So that's why you have 12.4% here. For taxable Medicaid wages and tips, so it's going to be 12,000, and is 12,000 times 0.029, and that's 348. So if there is a threshold for Social Security and for Medicare, so there is a threshold for Social Security that if the salary exceeds that, you stop withholding Social Security on the employee's salary, and you, the employer, will stop paying Social Security on the excess of the salary. And there is an excess for Medicaid wages as well. So when the employee's salary reach that threshold, you will withhold more of Medicaid tax on it. But you, the employer, you are not going to pay more. You continue to pay, I believe, 1.45% of your share. But the employee will withhold 1.45% and 0.9% on that excess. And the threshold, you'll find it in the instructions as well. And that varies year after year. That's why it's good to check the instructions to see the threshold. And the instructions, we can open it here for those threshold. So for the Social Security, one CC. I was thinking, okay, so 160,200 is the threshold when you stop paying and withholding Social Security. And for the Medicaid tax, it is $200,000. And for the Social Security threshold, you'll find it on page 10 of the instructions for Form 941, 2023. And for the Medicare threshold, you'll find it on page 12 on IRS Instructions for Form 941 for 2023, and that is 200,000. Past that, you'll be withholding 0.9% extra. So now that we do not have taxable wages that exceed the Medicaid tax, we can check those two numbers, Social Security and Medicaid tax, with our spreadsheet to see if the numbers are accurate. So yeah, if you have your payroll spreadsheet, it'll be good to check those numbers. And we have total Social Security 1488 and Medicaid employee and employer 348. So both will be, so total Social Security and Medicaid, they say to total column 2 from line 5A to line 5D, and I believe it's going to be 1836 1836, but we can calculate that, and that will be plus 1488. Okay, so line 5F, we are going to leave a blank, and line 6, total tax before adjustment, so that will be line 3, the federal income tax withheld, line 5E, total Social Security and Medicaid employee and employer, and then line 5E, tax due on unreported tips. So that would be 1836 plus 747, and that will be 2583. And again, we are going to put our decimal there as well, and we can compare that with our payroll spreadsheet, and it's 2583. So line 6, total tax before adjustment. Oh, I put our 2583 on the wrong line, so let's change that. It is now tax due on reported tips, but it is line 6, total tax before adjustment, 2583. So line 7, current quarters adjustment for fraction of cents. So if the amount you withheld from the employee's salary is a little bit off compared to what the Form 941 is advising to withhold, or what the total is on here, if the difference is due to fraction, due to rounding, you can use line 7 for the adjustment. It could be a positive number or a negative number, so that what you withheld and pay out to IRS and what you are putting on this form, you can reconcile both. So we don't have any reconciliation to do, so we leave line 7 blank. So line A, current quarter adjustment for sick pay. So if you have any, you can read the instructions and complete it. In our case, we are going to leave a blank. If you do not have anything for that line, you leave a blank. So line 9, you leave a blank if you do not have any adjustment for group term life insurance. But if you do, you can read the instructions online. So if there is a line you do not understand, you can just go through the instruction, because the instructions will have the line that they are trying to explain and they are trying to give you information on. So you just locate the line, read about it to see if there is something on that line that is related to your business, and if it's not, you can just move on to the next things that you wanted to search about. So line 9 we leave a blank. Line 10, total tax after adjustment. So that will be line 6, the total tax before adjustment plus any adjustment you have made between line 7 to line 9. And in our case, it's going to be the same as line 6, and it's going to be 2583. Line 11A qualifies small business payroll tax credit, and they have instructions about it. You can read to see if your business qualifies for that, and there will be form 8974 that you might have to complete if you meet that requirement to apply for that credit. And line 11 talks more about non-refundable credits. So from line 11, and we are not going to talk about credits here, but if you are qualified for non-refundable credit or refundable credit, you can read the instructions on that. And the instruction, at the end of the instructions, there are some worksheets that if you are qualified for those credits, you might use to calculate it. So they have those two worksheets, and I'm not going to discuss the worksheets. So, and we are going to leave line 11A blank, line 11B, non-refundable portion of the qualified sick leave and family leave blank, and you will go to page 2 of form 941, employer qualified federal tax return. On page 2, you will put your business legal name on top, you will put your business identification number on the top of that form, and please do not forget that. And part 1 continues. So line 11D is non-refundable portion of credit for qualified sick leave and family leave wages for leave taken after March 31st, 2021 and before October 1st, 2021. If that is related to you, you can read the instructions and complete the worksheet that is related to it. Otherwise, you leave it blank. So line 11G, total non-refundable credits, is to total line 11, and in this case we are going to leave a blank. So line 12, total tax after adjustment and non-refundable credit, and it's going to take line 11G, and line 10, total tax after adjustment. So 2583 will go to line 12, 2583. Line 13A, total deposit for this quarter. including overpayment applied from a prior quarter or overpayment applied from form, and they have all those for this fill in this current quarter. So we are going to put 2583 as an example here. That's what we've held, and they employ a portion of Social Security and Medicaid we pay to IRS. So we are going to use that example and just put that same amount as deposited to IRS for quarter 2. Line 13B will remain blank. Line 13C is the refundable portion of the credit that you claim on top. So the line 11 is non-refundable and line 13 is refundable. So if the credit is related to you, you'll complete. If it is not related to you, you leave it blank. So line 13, if a line does not qualify, if a line is not related to your business, you leave it blank, to the exception of line 12 and line 2. Let's take a look at the instructions. You see, when you are not sure about something, you might go to the instructions to look for it. And let's see where they will talk about it. It will be at the beginning. So leave is on page 7 of IRS Instructions for Form 941 for 2023. Leave blank any data field except line 1, 2, and 12 with a value of 0. So for line 1, 2, and 12, if the number is 0, you'll put 0 there. Anything else that the amount or any other line that is 0, just leave them blank. Okay, so line 13C will leave it blank. Line 13D will leave it blank. Line 13E will leave it blank. Line 13G, total deposits and refundable credits, which is the total of line 13A, your total deposits, and the remaining line 13 for the refundable portion of the credits. Sum together will give you line 13G, and that will be 2583 in this instance. So line 14, balance due. So the balance due or the overpayment is the difference between line 12, the total tax after adjustment and non-refundable credits, and line 13G, total deposit and refundable credits. So if line 12 is more than line 13G, then you owe tax. It will go on the balance due line 14. If line 12 is less than line 13G, then you pay more tax. Therefore, you'll have a refund. It will go on line 15. So in this instance, it is 0 because they are equal. Therefore, we leave line 14 blank and line 15 blank. If you make more, if your line 13G is higher than 12 than your tax, your refund you'll put on line 15, and you'll check if you want IRS to send you a refund or if you want them to keep it for the next quarter. In case you owe, you will apply it to it. And if your line 12 is higher than your line 13G, your deposit and refundable credit, then you'll put the difference on line 14 as balance due that you need to deposit or pay in with the return, depend on the amount on line 12. Part 2 of Form 941. So if you are unsure about whether you are a monthly scheduled depositor or a semi-weekly scheduled depositor, see section 11 of publication 15. So line 16. So you will check one of the three options they have, the three boxes. So the first option is if line 12 on this return is less than 2,500, or line 12 on the return for the prior quarter was less than 2,500, and you didn't incur $100,000 next day deposit obligation during the current quarter, that's when you'll check the first box. So if line 12 for the prior quarter was less than 2,500, but line 12 for this return is $100,000 or more, you must provide a record of your federal tax liability. So if you are a monthly scheduled depositor, complete the deposit schedule below. If you are a semi-weekly scheduled depositor, attach the Schedule B. We saw it on IRS website, Schedule B. So let's go back to line 12 again, and our line 12 is 2,583. So it's more than 2,500. So it is 2,500 and more. Therefore, we'll choose the second box, a monthly scheduled depositor. And how you choose, like whether you will choose that you are a semi-weekly scheduled depositor or a monthly scheduled depositor, is not really about line 12, but is a decision you make at the beginning of the year. And I will have a video for it. I have not published it yet as of today, but you can read it about it on the publication on the IRS instruction for Form 941 as well. But that's a decision you make at the beginning of the calendar year, whether you want to be a semi-weekly scheduled depositor or a monthly scheduled depositor. And to do that, for instance, for 2023, you will use your Form 941, 4 quarter of Form 941 from May 2021 to May 2022. So you'll have 4 quarters there. And let's see if you'll be able to find it quickly here. So you will total your line 12 for those 4 quarters. And we saw it that the quarter, let's go to the beginning. So the meet will be July 1st of 2021. Yeah, July 1st of 2021 all the way to June 30th of 2022. So that will be quarter 3, like that will be 2021 quarter 3 and quarter 4, and then 2022 quarter 1 and quarter 2. So together that will be 4 quarter 1 year worth. So you look at your line 12 for each one of those quarters, total them together, and if your total tax after adjustment and non-refundable credit on line 12 or Form 941 for May 2021 to May 2022 is more than $50,000, then you will choose to be a semi-weekly depositor. But if those total together is less than $50,000, then you will choose to be a monthly scheduled depositor. And if that is your first year of being an employer, then that 2 years look back is 0 for you. Therefore, you will choose to be a monthly scheduled depositor for 2023. And let's see if we'll be able to find. Yeah, I think they touched base on that on page 8 of IRS Instructions for Form 941. but the publication 15 will go more, will explain it more. So look back is 2021. Yeah, if you were filing that, so July 1st 2021 to June 30th of 2022, but they should be able to explain it more in the publication 15 section 11. But yeah, so and pretty much what that means is how often you have to make payroll tax deposit to IRS. And in this case, because we estimated that our payroll tax is going to be 2,500 or more, therefore we will be a monthly deposit schedule. We cannot pay with the return. If you think your payroll tax will be less than 2,500 for the whole year, you can choose to pay that with the return. But usually by default you have semi-weekly deposit schedule and monthly deposit schedule to choose from at the beginning of the year. So if you are a monthly deposit scheduler, then you will need to track your payroll in a way that you can enter your tax liability for every month, and the total should equal line 12. So we'll go to our spreadsheet and we'll look for, and I believe the quarter won't work in this instance, so therefore the monthly will work for that. So we are looking for the total tax before adjustment, and for the last 3 months, April, May, June, will be ACC1. Knowing how what type of tax return you are going to file with your business data, you will design your report or your spreadsheet or whatever you are using to track your business information in a way that when you need the information, you'll be able to find it and provide it. And now we will total them to see if that will match our line 12. So ACC 1 times 3 is 2583. And if you are a semi-weekly scheduled deposit of any part of this quarter, we complete that, and we can go to IRS website and click on that Schedule B for you to see it. That way, by looking at it, you will think about how you should be tracking your payroll to be able to complete this form. And as you can see, Form 941 Schedule B is for 3 months. So when you download it, you have it. You can have the blank form to keep using it. It only record 1 quarter of information, and you have 30 days for every month to put information here. So pretty much it's like you have to be recording your payroll taxes on a daily basis to be able to complete this Schedule B. So if you are recording your payroll tax on a monthly basis, it may not work with Schedule B. Schedule B is designed for you to report your payroll taxes on a daily basis, because you have 30 days, 31 days available for each month to put information in this. So based on the form you are going to complete, you'll know how to design your spreadsheet to be able to record, track your business information in a way to be able to complete the form easily. So now that we complete line 16, we will move to page 3. And again, page 3 will ask us to put our business legal information on top of the form. And you'll put your business identification number. So, part 3, line 17. If your business has closed or stopped paying wages, you check that, but otherwise you leave it blank. But if your business closed or stopped paying wages, you can read the instruction to see what they're expecting from you. But pretty much from the time your business was open to the time it stopped, you will report how your payroll paid during that time frame and payroll taxes for that time frame, and the new business. If the business stopped, then it stopped. If you transfer it or you sold it, then the new business will continue from the transfer date. And if your business stopped, then you'll put the date it stopped of the transfer date as well. And you only report for the part of the year, the first part of the year that the business was your responsibility. If line 17 does not apply to your business, you leave it blank. So line 18, if you are a seasonal employee and you do not have to file a return for every quarter of the year, you check line 18, otherwise you leave it blank. So line 19 is about qualified health plan, and we are going to leave it blank. Line 20, qualified health plan expenses, we leave it blank. Line 21, we leave it blank. Line 22, we leave it blank. Line 23, sick leave, qualified sick leave, we leave it blank. Line 24, we leave it blank. Line 25, we leave it blank. Line 26, we leave it blank. Line 27, we leave it blank. Line 29, line 28, we leave it blank. If any of those lines apply to you, please read the instruction to know more about it and know how to complete those lines. So, part 4, may we speak with a third-party designee. So, if you want IRS to address any issue on the form you are completing with somebody else, then you put that person's name and a PIN number. But if you want IRS to contact you personally, then you just check no. And in this case, we are going to check no. Part 5. So once you reach this, you will put your business, you will put your name, you, that is filing a you, the owner of the business, you will put your name, and you will put your business title, and you will put your phone number. So if you are a pay preparator preparing the tax return for the client and you'll get paid for it, then you, the preparator, you'll put your name, you'll put your business name, you'll put your business address, city, state, zip code, you'll put your P10, and you'll put your business EIN and your phone number. If you are self-employed, you'll check that box, and once the return is printed out, you can sign it and you can date it. If you are filing it for your own business, you leave the pay preparator use only section alone. You leave it blank. But as you review the return, and when you are done, you review the return for accuracy, and then you print it out. And when you print it out, you sign it, you date it, and you make another copy for your business to record. And the original one that you sign, you can mail it to IRS. So we will continue to the voucher. So if you have a balance due to pay And if you are a monthly deposit scheduler and you have been depositing your payroll taxes, I will just say if you have a balance due, it might just be a good idea to deposit it. That way you won't have to pay with the return. But if you want to pay whatever the balance due on line 14 with the return, you might want to read the instructions to see if you meet that requirement. So if your line 12 is less than 2500, you could pay with the return, and here is what it is required from you. So if your total tax after adjustment or non-refundable credit line 12 for this quarter or the previous quarter are less than 2500, and you did not incur $100,000 next day deposit obligation during the current quarter, and you are paying in full and filing the return on time, then you can pay the balance due on line 14 with this Form 941. So if you are a monthly scheduled depositor making payment in accordance to the accuracy of deposit rule, in this case the amount on the payment may be 2500 or more, and that will be fine. But I will just say, instead of going in the gray area, I will just say to just set a rule for yourself. If your line 12 is 2500 or more, just deposit it. If your line 12 is less than 2500, then you can pay. But if you have been making deposit already, you might just go ahead and deposit that balance due as well. So if you choose to pay your return with your return, then you will complete the voucher and then a check or a money order. But I would suggest you do a check, for that simple reason that when you mail it to IRS and IRS withdraw the amount, that will be a second sign that they receive your return. The first one will be you have the tracking after you mail it to USPS with a tracking number that you can check online. The second one will be when they withdraw that check from that amount, that balance from your checking account. And the check has more space for you to put the information required that needs to be on it. The voucher is a little bit cramped. The space is just now doesn't give you you don't have enough space to clearly write things. But anyway, on the check or the money order, you will need to put that is payable to United States Treasury. You will put in the memo section, you will put Form 941 quarter 2 2023, and you make sure you put your business EIN number on the checkbook, on the check as well. So, and you will complete the voucher with the dollar amount from line 14, your business EIN number, your business name or business address, city, state, zip code, and you check the quarter that payment is for, and make sure it matches the quarter you check on top of the Form 941. And then you print everything out and you make a copy of the 941 voucher and the check for your business record before you put them in the envelope. So when you print things out, you have multiple pages for Form 941. You can staple them together, but don't staple the voucher with it. Keep the voucher separate from the Form 941, and Form 941V is a voucher. So keep it separate from Form 941, the 3 pages that we went through prior. Form 941 ends here. So the 3 pages, because you have 3 pages, you can staple together. And if you have Schedule B, you can staple with it, or any attachment that needs to go with it can go with it. But your voucher, if you complete your voucher, you keep it separate, and then you keep your check separate as well. So you have 3 pieces: Form 941, Form 941V, and then the voucher that you put in there. and then the check that you put in the envelope. But if you already made deposits, you are not going to add Form 941V and check in the envelope, then you just have Form 941 in the envelope. You do not complete Form 941V and you do not print it out if you are not going to make payments. But you are going to deposit, or you already make deposits of your tax liabilities, and you are done completing Form 941. So now, where do you mail your Form 941? So you have two options. It will depend on whether you are adding a payment to it or whether you are just sending in Form 941. So you'll go to the instructions, and it should be at the top, probably, I don't know, 99? It won't be that far. On page 7 of IRS Instructions for Form 941 for 2023. So make sure you are using the right instructions for the right year that you are filing for. And you will first locate your states. And in this example, we are going to use Iowa. So you locate your states, and then you have two columns. Are you adding payments to the Form 941 and put in the envelope and mail it, or are you just mailing Form 941? So if you are just mailing Form 941, like in this example where we choose to make deposit of the full tax liability, then we'll choose without a payment colon address that match the row that we have the states, the business states on, and that will be this address for Iowa, for instance. If you have a balance due on line 14 and you want to pay it with the Form 941, put the voucher and the check and Form 941 in one envelope and mail it to IRS, then you will use with a payment colon address that is on the same row as the state your business is located in. So that's how you will choose the address to mail it to. So as for when Form 941 is due, Form 941 for quarter 2 is due by July 31st. And that is July 31st. So the quarter end at the end on June 30th, and you have 1 month to file your Form 941. So, and that concludes how to fill out Form 941 for 2023 quarter 2. So if you are looking for a payroll spreadsheet, so we have the latest version, and we have an example as well to show how the spreadsheet works. And this one was the original one, and I updated. So revision 1 is the latest version, and we do have few different ones to choose from, but this particular one is the one that we use in this tutorial example, and it has the summary by quarter, and we pretty much revise the footer tab so that the footer became pulled by quarter. The original one was designed to pull it by month, but didn't really work well. But by quarter, we have the footer can pull out by quarter, and footer is unemployment tax return, and we can have quarter 1, quarter 2, and quarter 3 and 4 and so forth. And then you can have a summary by quarter. So those are the revisions that we did to the original one, as the original one was designed to pull the footer by month, but was not working well with where the data is entered, and therefore I made some adjustment to fix that issue. But yes, you can access free download from our website ninasop.com, and we do have IRS instructions and tax return form as well. We have the links to those as well that you can access if you are looking for a form that you don't know, you are having issue finding on the IRS website. There are few that we save the link that you'll be able to find it on our blog as well. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for all your comments, and thank you all that subscribe to our channel. I'm just double checking my numbers here with the one that we completed together. And there is something I didn't really touch base on, is who is authorized to sign your Form 941. And you can find that on the instructions as well. But if you are a sole proprietor, that's you that needs to sign the Form 941 and put your name and your title. If you are an L.L.C. and you have employees, then you or any member of the L.L.C. that has a good that know enough about the business could sign the return. If you are an L.L.C. tax as an S-corp, any business officer, you, or if you have a partner in the business, that person is a business officer as well. So any officer will be able to sign the tax return. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And they have it in the instructions as well. You can read more about it. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting LLC YouTube channel and ninasop.com, our blog. And our channel, we share different ways you can save money and different ways you can make money, pretty much skills to save money, skills to make money, to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on your employer to provide for your family. And I'm pretty much trying to see where we can find the signature. And that'll be on page 20. Thank you so much for your time.